Hello and welcome. My name is Brenda. My channel is Handwork Maniac. We're going to talk about cross stitch today. I'll do my September update, I guess it is. I'll show you everything that I worked on since the last video. And I have some finishes and some new starts. And I went to a retreat in Casper, Wyoming, so I also have some purchases. All right, let's just start with finishes. I finished my drawn thread Sunnyside Sampler by the Drawn Thread on 32 count natural linen with the called for NPI silks, and the directions said to just do one strand of floss, but on 32 count I really like 2 strands of floss, so I used 2 strands of floss, even though the directions only said to use 1, but I did use the called for colors. This was part of a stitch along hosted by Colette, the Highway Stitcher. It's hashtag October to October stitch along, so it's OCTOCTSAL. We do one every year, or it was also under Sunnyside Sampler SAL hashtag. I know a lot of you stitched it as well. It's a beautiful sampler. I so enjoyed it. Several of us go to StitchWest every year, so we kind of end the last one and start the next one around that time. But not everyone is at StitchWest, so you can start or end it anytime in October to join us. The one we're starting, since we just finished that one, StitchWest is a retreat in Salt Lake City hosted by the YouTube channel Snug Harbor Crafts. You can go to their YouTube channel to find out more about it, and it is this week. So I'll be leaving in a few days to go to StitchWest for this year. Our next stitch along is by Jardin Prive, a fil des Nichoirs. My friend, I don't speak French. I know Nichoirs is houses, and it's in the air above the houses, something. I can't remember what the translation is, but it is a row of birdhouses, and there's one birdhouse for each month of the year, kind of themed for each month of the year, on a white picket fence. It's so cute. There's the name again. You can buy the pattern at the Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake City. She also has fabric and floss for you there if you'd like. Several options for fabric, whether you do Aida or you want to do 32 count or you want to do a higher count, a lower count, whatever you want to do. She's got some great fabrics that would be a great color for this. 123 Stitch has it. Keepsakes has it in Ohio. I would guess most craft stores, cross stitch stores either have it or could order it for you. Always nice to support your brick and mortar local cross stitch stores if you have one nearby. I have started mine already on 46 count linen in the color Oatmeal by Fiber on a Whim. And what I want to do each birdhouse in the month that we're in. So my friend Shauna had a great idea to stitch the border first across the top, and then you could figure out where each birdhouse for that month was. So I'm going to start with the I started the roof of the October birdhouse because I knew it was right underneath this little, I think these are clouds hanging from a line. This end has snowflakes. This end has a snowflake, I think, and some like holly berries or mistletoe berries, I guess, white berries. So I went ahead and stitched the whole top border so that I'll do the October birdhouse and the fence that goes with it in November and December, and then in January I'll come back over here and start with January. Hopefully that makes sense. One strand of floss with the called for DMC over 2 fabric threads. Please feel free to join us. Go see Colette, the Highway Stitcher, on YouTube, or she is Colette Stitches on Instagram. I know we're still using the October SAL, OCT, TO, OCT, SAL. We'll always use that one. But I can't remember what she said the hashtag was for this one. Something about birdhouses. I will find that out and write it on my card. Let's do that one last. In fact, I'll do that with the retreat stuff. Okay, I have been working on this Dimensions Gold Kit since 2020. I think it was February of 2020 that I started it. And I finished. I did not iron it, sorry. Actually, maybe I'll leave that. But it has been sitting flat, so it's sort of unwrinkled. I used the kit fabric, which is an 18 count Aida, I believe. And I used the kit floss, and I used all the numbers, whatever number of strands it said to use for each kind of stitch, that's what I did. And it is just gorgeous. So happy to have that one finished. And then I finished Hoity Toity several months ago, but I don't think I ever showed it on a video. This is Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers. I did mine on 40 count mallow with 1 strand of silk over 2 fabric threads, and I used Mrs. Sada's silks and her conversion of silks. They're more of a fall colors than the called for colors. That one was so fun. Thought I had one more, but maybe I don't. Okay. And then this one I finished. I started this at the Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat a year ago in September in Casper, Wyoming, next to the Crazy Woman River. And Jenny of Cricklewood Crossing Designs designed the chart for the retreat. These flowers are right off of the logo for the retreat. And then she added the bird and this beautiful saying and made a sampler. This middle flower was a beautiful brown color charted, but I used a variegated Silken Colors silk called Honeyed Turquoise. And I just cut a length, pulled 1 strand out, started at the bottom and went up in a strip. and then I pulled another strand out, started with the same end, and did another strip, and then I did another strip, and then I did another strip, and that's how it made that variegated look. Oh, and I added these French knots in the middle of the orange flowers. This is 40 count pewter by Picture This Plus, 1 strand of the called for DMC over 2 fabric threads, except for this one color that I substituted. And I have one more finished, but I'll show you that with the retreat stuff from this year. And I think that's all my finishes, so I'll just go on to things I worked on. And I have some new starts, but I'll show you as they come up. I keep forgetting to show you this one. I've been working on it all summer, but for some reason when I film, I forget to show it. It is called American Sampler by Sandy Orton. This version is in a cross stitch magazine called Cross Stitch and Needlework. And this is the March 2011 issue. And this version calls for silks. It is charted for a Verissois silks in this magazine. You can also now buy this in a PDF version on the Cooler Design Studio website, K-O-O-L-E-R, Cooler Design. And I believe it's called, it's either Antique American Sampler or Vintage American Sampler. I can never remember. But a viewer told me that it is not charted for silks, that it's charted for DMC. So if you're interested in the silk version, you'll need to look for this magazine on the secondary market. It has lots of specialty stitches, and a lot, maybe a third of it is 1/1. So be aware of that when you choose fabric. Mine is on 40 count pear linen by Lakeside Linens. So the 1/1 part is just a tent stitch because they're so tiny. There's no way you could fit an axe in there. And it has been a little tricky, but it has been fun. Here's the top. I was bogged down on this border forever. All these flowers are queen stitches. And then the background is filled in with alternating quarter stitches. This is a satin stitch. The man and the woman are over 1. About half of the house is over 1. This vase is Gobelin, or the, has another name. It escapes me right now. Flame stitch. These sheep are over 1. But I have been working on this section all summer, and did the woman and the rest of the tree and the rest of the house. It's been a lot of fun. Okay. is a Riola's kit called Scottish Door. I am using the kit Aida, which is 14 count Aida. And I'm using the kit Floss, which is an acrylic wool blend. They're kind of fuzzy. The coverage is fantastic because they are kind of fuzzy. I love them. It's the first time I've ever used them. I love working with them. But it does still use 2 strands, so I do still fold it over. And there is some blended colors. And this is what I have so far. That one's been a lot of fun to work on. It makes me think of, the flowers are all pink and summery, but the door is so orangey brown that makes me think of fall. I have worked quite a bit on the New Normal by Long Dog Samplers. Mine is on 40 count antique white linen. Oh, probably gonna need this for the back. And I was able to get quite a bit done down there at the bottom. I'm using Sulky, S-U-L-K-Y, 12 weight cotton thread, because it doesn't really call for a thread. It's a monochromatic piece. It just tells you to use whatever you would like. In colors that I chose myself. They come in petite spools or king. I think these are king spools. Where's my petite spool? Oh, right here. There's petite size. I think these are king spools. And then there's also a larger cone, a jumbo cone. They come in overdyed blendable colors. They call them blendables, or solid colors. These are all solid colors that I chose. And this beautiful bag is by Victoria's Crafty Room. She even did a little thread bed to match. It's got beautiful cardinals on the back. But I use it to store all these silky threads for this project. Just using 1 strand of the 12 weight silky thread. It's a thicker thread. And I think it has beautiful coverage on 40 count or 36 count. Those are my 2 favorites to use it on, although it does look nice on 32 count as well. I have used it on 28 count and it looked fine. I just like a little bit better coverage than that. This is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. Mine is on 40 count Flax by Zweigart. I'm using the called for overdyed threads, 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. And I did this whole motif here and started on this one. I did change the color. All of these colors are flowers in the border are charted to be one color. It's a peachy color. I can't think of what it's called. But I thought it would be fun to have them all be a little different. So I pulled all the peachy colors I had out of my stash of floss. And I'll do them all in different, I'll just keep alternating all the different peachy colors in the border. One strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. This is a Lanarte kit, Lanarta, called 4 Seasons. I am using the kit fabric. Oh, which is what? It's an even weave that came with the kit. 28 count Lugana. In an off-white color. And each section on this is a different season. Each quarter is a different season. And then there's a big vase of flowers right in the middle. So I started right in the middle with the vase of flowers so that during each season I could work on whatever season it would kind of move out from the middle and work on whatever season it was. So it's going to be very big when it's finished. This is spring, this is summer, this is winter, and this is fall. So I've been working on, I did this whole section right here in the last few weeks. Did the beautiful flower and the mushroom. It's very wrinkly. Here's spring and summer. I did work a lot on this on the summer. Finished these poppies and these strawberries. Started this bunny last winter and did that leaf. But I'll work on fall section for the rest of fall. It's been fun to work on. I love working on that one. I'm using the kit floss. And following the instructions. It's usually 2 strands of floss. Some blended. Now I can't remember. I don't think it has any blended colors. Oh, good grief. Okay, I worked on this one. Die Farben des Wassers by Der Werkstatt für Historische Muster. Translates to colors of water. Now I have hair in my face. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. The pattern I think you can get it charted for DMC. I am using the pattern that is in the Silk app, S-I-L-K, charted for Avera Soie silks. I think you can buy the pattern either way. I don't know. I don't know if you buy it from their website, if it comes with the silk conversion on it or not, but you could probably ask for it. there's this row of squares and then this row of squares. And I have finished all the motifs on this row and have started the motifs on this row so that I can just do, I'm hoping to get all this fill-in done, the back of the square fill-in, while I'm at StitchWest. And that is the bottom of the piece right there. So excited. So this is one strand of a Versois silk over 2 fabric threads on 46 count antique white linen. Where's the picture? This is the Dimensions Gold Petites called Santa's Secret. A good friend gave this to me for Christmas last year, so I had to start it. I'm using the kit floss, but I'm not using the kit fabric. It came with Aida, but I'm doing it on 32 count white linen. And this is what I have so far. He's looking so good. There's no back stitching done. I'm about ready to do some back stitching because I like to back stitch as I go. He'll look much better with back stitching. But he's already, the shading of his face is already just amazing. He's wearing gold rimmed glasses, so the shading around his eyes is looks a little weird right now. Two strands of floss, the pattern calls for, over 2 fabric threads on this linen. This was a new start. I was at the Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat at the Crazy Woman River, that's why it's named that, in Casper, Wyoming, put on by Misty McConnelly. I'll put her Instagram account down in the description box. She is advertising right now for her Southern Utah retreat that she does in the spring. That last year was in St. George. I'm not sure where it will be this year, but it will be in March. So go to her Instagram account if you are interested in going to that. And it'll be in Utah, in St. George, maybe, because that's where it was last year. I know she was trying to decide where to have it this year. But I'll put her Instagram account down in the description box. That's the only way to get a hold of her. But she had a pop-up shop there from Stitchery Express, whose is warehouse here in Utah, Clearfield. And the Cindy Sorley from Stitchery Express was having a sale on several of her Madame Lafitte patterns. So I purchased several. I'll show you those when I get to the haul, the purchases portion of the video. But this is the one that I decided to start right away. It's called Retour au Chalet. I believe that's back to the cabin or return to the cabin. I'm using the called for DMC on 46 count Mystic fabrics called Everything Else. One strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. Goodness. And I have that section that's got some books and a snow globe. So pretty. I've been wanting to do a Madame Lafitte forever. So that was fun to start. Now they're stuck in the basket. This is Band of Roses 1845 Antique Sampler by Cross Stitch Antiques. Mine is on 40 count Lakeside Linens Maritime White. I'm using the called for DMC, 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. For this top part, I did substitute an Avera Soie silk. That was the same color as the called for DMC because I just wanted, silk is a little thicker and I wanted a little bit better coverage. And I did the same thing for these light blue letters. It's a Dinky Dyes Pacific Ocean, but the rest of it is the called for DMC. And I worked on this red flower right there. Beautiful sampler. Did I say 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads? This one is Hello Pumpkin by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. My brother Walter and his wife Juliana gave it to me for my birthday several years ago when it was a stitch along. And I just barely started it this year. I'm using the called for DMC on 32 count fabric flare. And I don't know the name of this fabric flare, but it was blue, cloudy sky above and a green, mottled green below. And this is how far I am using 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads on this 32 count. I believe it's an even weave. It's a printed fabric flare fabric. So cute. This is called Sweet Like Chocolate by Emma Congdon. And I keep telling you that it is in the World of Cross Stitch magazine. And I'm sorry I keep telling you the wrong month. I said several times that it was in the May 2019 issue, but it's not. It's in the April 2019 issue of World of Cross Stitch magazine. And I have fixed it in all the description boxes of all the videos that I've ever talked about it. It is now correct. I'm so sorry. It confused several people. Mine is on, what is it on? 32 count, even weave, and I think it is a Picture This Plus called Petals. I know it's called Petals. It's got an ever so light little splashes of pink and spring green on it, but it's really hard to see on the camera. Anyway, this is what I have so far. I love this one. This one's so fun to work on, except it always makes me want to eat chocolate. Using the called for DMC, 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads. And this one was also a new start. This is Halloween Sampler by Teresa Kogut. It originally came in this Halloween book by her called Hello Halloween by Teresa Kogut. But you can also buy it from her website, Etsy. I can't remember now where she sells as a separate chart. It's also available if you are a Patreon member, because it was originally a Patreon chart, I believe, in her shop on Patreon. And I was trying to show you this cute bag by Cricklewood Crossing that I keep it in. My friend Jenny on Etsy, Cricklewood Crossing. So cute. And this is what I have so far. Mine is on 46 count Dark Mountain by XJU Designs. I'm using the called for floss, 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. So cute. All right, I think that's everything that I worked on since the last video. So I'll tell you about just a little bit about the retreat and what I purchased there. The designer at the retreat was from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And the piece that she designed for us is called Rocky Mountain Quaker. She lives in Idaho, and she based this design on a beautiful photo she took of the mountains with the river and trees. She had the photo there. It's beautiful. I just loved the design as soon as she showed it to us. So we all received this design at the retreat. She will probably release this to the public in a year or so. And she gave us the fabric to stitch it on, I believe. .36 count vintage country mocha. And she gave us the overdyed threads to stitch it with. I used 2 strands of floss. The directions called for 1 strand of floss. 36 count is just hard. Some people like 1 strand, some people like 2 strands. And I finished it. Loved working on this. It was so fun. We got, floss everywhere. We got this bag at the retreat. Oh, but it won't stay flat. She gave us a corner gauge from the Heart Needle Art corner gauge. And the kit also came with this beautiful thread holder made out of wood that's been wood burned, and it smells so good. It smells like a campfire. And she also gave us this pattern for a needle book. And she gave us all scraps of fabric to stitch the needle. She had a big basket of scraps, and you could choose whichever in all kinds of counts. different kinds, aida, linen, even weave. And she suggested that you pick something that's a challenge for you because it's just a little small needle book. So stitch on something you hadn't tried before. So I chose this checkered fabric because I have not stitched on checkered fabric before. It is 28 count, so I'm stitching it over 1. I got this Needleminder from Cricklewood Crossing. So cute. Oh, we also got this beautiful waxer from Wendy from the Needle Art. From the Heart Needle Art. I purchased this portfolio from Cricklewood Crossing, Jenny at Cricklewood Crossing. That's these beautiful portfolios for sale there. This one is, oh, it's got all my orts stuck to it. Embroidered mermaid hair and salty air. So pretty. Came with this beautiful mermaid needleminder. These are all the lovely gifts I got from wonderful stitchers there. This cute art jar has a frog. In the bottom, isn't he darling? This beautiful bag. This beautiful tin. Some Needleminders that I stuck on the top so you could see them. This pin. Look at this gorgeous thing that she stitched for each one of us. Some stickers. So fun. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who gave me something. Okay. This bag of, it looks like 20 count even weave, might be 28 count, was on the freebie table, so I needed that. This pattern was also on the freebie table and I needed that. It's a full coverage, beautiful cherry blossoms by Stony Creek. No, Cross My Heart. It's by Cross My Heart. It reminds me of the way Stony Creek prints their booklets, but it's Across My Heart. Jenny at Cricklewood Crossing gave me this pattern. Sweet of her. I won as a door prize a gift certificate to from the Heart Needle Art store she had there, her little pop-up store. So I used the gift certificate partly purchased the first 6 months of her Quaker monthly series. I can't read. Okay, June. Here's June. If you go to Polka Dot and Paisley's website, she has a square wooden box, a rectangle wooden box with calendar cubes at the bottom so you can change the day. And these patterns fit perfectly in the upper empty portion. This one is July. This one is January. This one is February. March, and May. And then Wendy from the Heart Needle Art did a giveaway the day, several giveaways. She did some like door prizes when she handed out the pattern, and I got to choose this beautiful 45 count legacy linen and wild bird seed out of a basket of fabric that she had to choose from. It's gorgeous. I purchased this beautiful sky blue fabric from Red Thicket, and it is 40 count linen called Sky Blue. She had a pop-up shop there. And then the rest of this I bought from the Stitchery Express pop-up shop. This Mill Hill Buttons and Beads kit called Outdoor Adventure. And then I believe these all came out of the sale bin that she had. There is Art Mishka City Watercolors. Peter Pan by RETM. Secrets de Jardin by Madame Lafille. Bientôt l'automne. I'm just guessing. I do not speak French. It's probably more like Madame Lafille, not Madame Lafille. Trésors d'automne. Bord de mer. La Nuit de Noël. La Douceur du Jardin. Un hiver à la montagne. La plage à 200 meters. Plot. I'm guessing that means the ocean is in 200 meters. And Trick or Treat. And I think that is everything. But I knew I wanted to get a video made before I went to StitchWest, because then there will be a whole bunch more to show you after that. So hopefully I'll be back in a few weeks and we'll give you another update. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.